thank you so much for allowing me to be on stage today alongside so many amazing speakers. I'm really, really honoured to be here. And I'm so honoured to be talking about the topic of dreams. It's something that I really feel passionate about, being able to dream big and encouraging other people to dream big. I just want a quick raise of hands. Does anybody know any dream stealers? Yeah? People that like to put their negative energy on you and tell you that you can't do something that you want to do. We are all surrounded by them from when we're children right up until, right through our adult life. And it's okay to dream. When I was a young girl, I used to always say, I want to live in a house like this, I want to drive a car like this, I want to travel the world. You know what people used to say to me? You need to marry a rich man for that. Okay. I used to say to people, no, I will be a rich woman. I didn't know how. I didn't know how, but I just knew that I was surrounded by a lot of women growing up that were really unhappy. They were in relationships that they didn't want to be in because they financially couldn't afford not to be there. They didn't want to leave because they didn't know how they would carry on their lives and how they would, be able to survive. And I just knew that I was not going to be one of those women. I wanted to be financially independent in my own right. So I went to university because that's the way I thought that I would become successful. If I went to university and worked hard and had a good job, I thought that is the way that I would live my dream life. And I got my first job after university, and I remember being in the office on the first day and thinking, wow, is this seriously what people do for 40 years of their life? Working 40 hours a week for 40 years. And I was like, this is not my dream life at all. And I didn't last very long in that job, but I am really, really grateful for that job because I met a lady while I was working there that actually, she doesn't even know because I've completely lost contact with her, unfortunately, but she actually taught me about personal development and taught me how to dream big. And I'm just going to tell you a little story. So when I had my first job, I fell ill, and to cut a long story short, I had a cyst. And I was told that I was going to need a major operation, and this operation might reduce my chances of having children by at least 50%. So I was really scared. I didn't want to have an operation, and I really wanted children in the future, and I was just really worried. And I was at work, and I was preparing to have quite a lot of time off to recover. And this lady came to my desk, and she said, you don't need to have your operation next week. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. So she gave me a book called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. If anyone hasn't read it, I highly recommend it. She said I needed to go home that night and I needed to read the whole book. And then every single day until the operation, I needed to say these words, and they're really important. I am grateful. Thank you for teaching me a lesson about my health. So she said at every moment, I just needed to be thinking these words in my head, and every day I needed to go and sit in a room on my own for 20 minutes and visualize this cyst leaving my body and just being really thankful that I'd been taught this lesson. And I was thinking, this lady sounds a little bit crazy, but right now I have no other option because I do not want to have an operation, so I'll give it a go. So I did everything that she told me, and the following week I went for my operation, and I was having a scan, and the sonographer went and found the specialist. He came in, and he had a look at the screen, and he said, in 25 years in the medical profession, I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what you've done, but you have no cyst. It's completely gone. There's no trace of it. And I was like, wow, this works. That is so powerful what that lady's taught me. Guess what I then did? I went home and I put that book away, and I didn't do any of that stuff ever again. for a very long time. And I'm not going to go into too much details, but my 20s were not good. I had a lot of personal tragedy, a lot of heartache, and I really wish that I had carried on what I had been taught, but I didn't. I ignored it, but I know it was for a reason. And I had my traditional business, so I'd left my full-time job. I had a traditional business, which is how I met my sponsor, and that was great to start with. I earned more money, but I found that business then owned me. I don't know if we have any business owners in the room. I was just a slave to that business, basically. And at the age of 27, I was in debt. I was back home at my mum and dad's house. I had a mattress on the floor, a little bit like what Kenton was saying. I had a mattress on the floor. I had all my possessions just in one room, back at home. And I was like, there has got to be something more to this. This is not the life that I dreamed of. I've been declined for a mortgage, and I really wanted a new car. And I know there's a few people in the room that have met me when I had my old car. It was horrible. It used to have a big puddle in the footwell, and if anyone got in it, I used to have to say, you can't put your feet down, you have to put them up in the air, and don't put your bag down there. And I really wanted a new car, and I'd gone to see if I could get finance for a new car, and I was in the car showroom. I'd picked the car I wanted, and I'd been declined for the finance. And I'd gone home, and I was just crying, and I was just on this mattress on my mum's floor. And I was just thinking, I can either be a victim or I can do something. And this is not what I want to do. So I started thinking about things, and I don't know why, but this book, The Secret, pops back into my head, and I still had it, and I thought, I'm going to reread that book. And I reread the book, and I made a dream board. This is my first dream board. I hadn't even found this opportunity, but I did this. I had you can see some relationship goals because I was single on there, some places I wanted to travel, I wanted my own home, I wanted a successful business. And so I made this dream board. This was met with a lot of negativity from a lot of people telling me, do you think by sticking pictures on a board that you're going to change your life? You know where those people are? They're still in the same position they were back then. They have not changed their lives. And 4 weeks later, I found the New Skin opportunity, and 2 days after that, I found my partner, Alex, and that is where everything began to change. So my New Skin journey has not been easy. I know many of you know about it. I'm just going to cover it in brief. I joined the opportunity. I hit executive quite quickly. I then began to completely struggle for the entire year, and at the end of the year, I was going to completely quit. I went along to a big event because in my mind, I was like, if I quit this opportunity, what am I going to do? I still have all these big dreams and goals. I wanted a family. I didn't know how I was going to be financially independent still. And if I quit this, what am I going to do? So I went along to a big event, and I realized that it wasn't this opportunity that didn't work, it was me that wasn't working right. So I started following the system, attending all events, listening to my upline's advice, taking masses of action every single day. And within 8 months, I'd hit Ruby Executive. A year later, I was Blue Diamond. And 18 months later, here I am on stage today, Team Elite Platinum. Could we play the video, please? And we're just going to have a quick video, hopefully, of all the things that I've now been able to take off of the dream board.